embryonated egg can be inhaled, it can be ingested, and direct contact. After that, pupunta yan sa small intestine, magiging larva, and adult in the large intestine. Mangingitlog na yan in perianal area, that's the time it will be able to cause an infection and intestinal irritation. At the same time, pwede magkaroon ng tinatawag nating perianal itching or pruritus ani. Then after that, we can able to identify egg in the Scotch tape method. Bibihira dito ang DFS. Why? Kasi yung itlog wala naman sa tahe. Ang itlog nasa gilid ng perianal area. That's why we perform Scotch tape method. So, ang worst scenario dito ay yung tinatawag nating auto-infection. Kasi, ang auto-infection kapag paulit-ulit na na-develop, no, yung ating infective stage sa man, then after that, na-inhale ulit, nagkaroon ng auto-infection. Pag paulit-ulit naman ang infection, tawag dyan, retro-infection. So that's actually for the life cycle. Makikita natin dito that actually our adult will able to deposit eggs in a perianal folds. Then after that, following, yung tinatawag natin pwedeng ingestion, pwedeng inhalation, and pwedeng retro-infection, at pwedeng auto-infection. Lahat ng mode of transmission ay na-kay Enterobius vermicularis. Kaya tinawag siyang community worm, pinworm, or seedworm. And at the same time, migration of newly hatched larvae from the anal skin back into the rectum. The larvae hatch in the small intestine and the adults establish themselves in the colon. Yan ang ating Enterobius vermicularis. So how can we identify that? Scotch tape method. Gagamit tayo ng popsicle. That's actually yung popsicle. Lalagyan natin yan ng slide. Tapos yung tape na may pandikit na kaharap. Then after that, pag nagawa natin yung setup na yan, naka-gloves tayo, patutuwarin natin yung bata, then we will able to, of course, ito ay tatapat natin sa perianal area ng bata. So, ididikit natin sa gilid ng bago mag-dun sa puwet. Then after that, babaliktarin mo yung tape. Then after that, isisil mo sa glass slide, sisilipin sa microscope. Tandaan, yung ating tape, meron siyang glycerin, toluene and iodine. Ang toluene, clearing agent, ang iodine, para mas maging visible pa yung ova ng parasite. Kasi maganda yan tignan kapag may iodine. Makikita mo yung loob ng ating ova. That's why we cannot perform DFS. Only 5 to 10% is the probability. Kasi nga, ang egg ng parasite nasa perianal area. Collection is done in the morning before they will defecate and wash their perianal area. Okay? Declare negative for 7 consecutive days and at the same time, make it sure na ito ay gagawin natin for Scotch tape method. Let's have Paracapillaria philippinensis. The new name of the parasite, no, is Paracapillaria philippinensis. Lagyan nyo lang ng para. This was identified in Pudok Ilocos Sur. That's why it's called Pudok worm. Identified as the smallest intestinal nematode. That's why it is called Capillaria. And identified in the Philippines. That's why Philippinensis. One particular, no, Dr. Salazar, who identified this parasite in PGH after the autopsy ng mga kumain ng isda. The mode of transmission is ingestion of the larvae na kung saan nandun yung infected stage. And kapag yung isda na yan ay hindi naluto at ginawa nila ito parang, ano tawag doon? Kilawin. No? Doon na nila nakuha yung parasite. Then after that, the main habitat is small intestine. At the diagnostic stage, we can able to identify egg in the stool. Now, tingnan natin mabuti kung bakit namatay yung patient dito. This was identified by Dr. Salazar, and the case was in Pudok Ilocos Sur, admitted in PGH. Ito manginginom na ito, ginamit nila o ginawa nila, yung isda is considered to be what you call na tinatawag nating parang ito yung ano nila, no? Pulutan. Hindi nila naluto, then after that, contaminated pala ng larva. Kasi, Ang host dito, dalawa. Pwedeng tao or fish-eating birds. Then after that, the fish or the intermediate host are the ipon, birot, or bagso. Now, during that particular time, the patient will feel burburigomus, parang nangangasim. And that's what you call now the gurgling of the stomach. That's actually the presumptive symptoms if a patient suffers from this kind of Capillaria philippinensis infection or Paracapillaria philippinensis infection. Now, let's discuss this particular morphology. Ang male, there is actually 2.3 to 3.17 mm with the spicule sheath. Kung ang ating Enterobius hemicephalic alley, pareho ito may sheathed sa dulo. Doon sa posterior end ng ating adult, both male and female, has spicule sheath. So parang may covering. Yung kanilang, of course, adult. But remember, this is the smallest nematode or intestinal nematode. At the same time, makikita natin kay Capillary philippinensis with the spicule sheath, plus of course, ito yung egg. Halos pareho sila ng egg ni Trichuris tricura. Ang pinagkaiba nila, flat bipolar and walang bipolar plaques. Tapos may striation sa gilid. No? And at the same time, they are called to be peanut-shaped ova. Plus at the same time, kung titignan natin mabuti, yan yung sa Capillary philippinensis versus Trichuris tricura. And makikita mo sa gilid, no? Ang gilid may striation, dito wala. Plus ito pa, may bipolar plaque, ito flat. And this resembles like peanut shape. Ito football shape. Now, mas maliit ang size ng capillaria kesa kay Trichuris. Okay? And this is the larva in Capillary philippinensis sa isda. And this is the male Capillary philippinensis. Makikita mo yung sheathed sa baba at saka sa taas. Baba is the female, sa taas is male. Life cycle. There are 3 nematodes that causes autoinfection. One is strongy. Second is Enterobius. The third is Prevalencia Capillaria philippinensis. Pwede magkaroon ng auto-reinfection or auto-infection. Now, please take a look with this one. The infective stage is the acquisition of the filariform larva or the larva, L3. Wala nakalagay ng filariform, L3 lang, in the fish. Kapag nakain niya yung fish, dito na magkaroon ng pathology. Now, the adult will lodge in the small intestine, magkaroon ng borborygmus, plus there is a massive dehydration because of the massive fluid loss and electrolyte in the body. So dito, ang namatay ang pasyente according to that particular report because of massive dehydration. Naubos yung electrolytes at mabilis ang peristaltic movement ng patient natin. So after that, we will able to identify the eggs as our diagnostic stage. And the egg, pupunta yan sa tubig, for example, and that will be embryonic, kakainin yan ng tinatawag natin isda, which is the intermediate host. Ang kakainin naman ng tao is the fish that contains the larva. Now take note, in the intestine, some female worms may produce larva that can reinvade the intestinal mucosa. The moment na nag-produce ng larva, that's the time the re-infection or auto-reinfection happens. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng auto-infection dito, kaya para Capillaria philippinensis. Kaya medyo mahirap din, gamutin. At the same time, the life cycle, unablinated eggs are passed in the human stool. That is actually our diagnostic stage. And after that, kakainin niya ng ating freshwater fish. And of course, the fish will be eaten by man, wherein larva is the infective stage to man. And of course, female deposit unablinated eggs can cause auto-infection because they produce massive larva also in the intestine. The pathology of this parasite is actually, of course, no, yung sinabi ko kanina, because of the massive fluid loss in the body, leading to dehydration, coma, and death. Yan ang kinamatay ng pasyente with paracapillaria philippinensis. Okay? Why? Maliban doon, may nabasa din ako, according to Belisario, that it causes malabsorption with paracapillaria philippinensis. Okay? Tandaan, borborygmus. Next, how can we identify DFS? In some circumstances, pwede magkaroon ng jejunal aspiration. Yung jejunal aspiration actually is one particular problem we might able to encounter if there is a massive infection. Kasi pwede tayo maka-rule out dyan ng parasite, particularly yung adult o kaya sabihin natin yung larva or sabihin natin yung egg. Kaya nga hindi tayo pwede makakita dyan pwede tayo makakita dyan ng parasite pag na-aspirate in the duodenum. That is actually the small intestine. ELISA is a serological test na meron tayong mga tinatawag na testing for that particular parasite, antigen prepared detection for the presence of paracapillaria philippinensis. As of now, wala masyadong nare-report na ganyan. Okay? Of that kind of infection. Let's have Trichinella spiralis. The Ticina worm. This parasite is already extraintestinal. They are viviparous because they don't lay egg, they lay larva. But this one, it infects the muscle tissue. So, we cannot perform DFS dito. Rather, we can perform muscle biopsy. Magbubukol yan sa muscle mo, tapos sasakit yung muscle mo. The moment pag nakita mong masakit yan, ibabiopsy nila yan, makakakita sila ng ating encysted larva. Now, the mode of transmission, halimbawa, sa February 14, nag-date kayo ng boyfriend mo, nakakain ka ng encysted larva, no? Kasi mahilig kayo sa sangyup. Bebe loves, gusto ko sangyup sa 14 with flowers. Okay? Then after that, nakakain ka ng encysted larva, no? So, pwede mangyari dito, pwede ka magkaroon ng ganyang infection for several days. Then, diagnosis, muscle biopsy. This is the parasite. No copulatory spicule. Isa ito sa nawala yung male, tandaan, no copulatory spicule, and the female is viviparous. They lay larva. Okay? Hindi sila nangingitlog. Larva agad. No? Then after that, this is the life cycle. Halimbawa sabihin natin, ang Trichinella spiralis na kain mo, encysted larva. The infective stage naman, encysted larva. Saan galing? Uncooked pork. Then after that, yung larva na yan, mag-hatch sa ating, of course, sa small intestine at magiging larva nito. Yung larva sa small intestine natin, they have the capability to, of course, no, migrate in the tissue. Or pwede maging adult pa yan. No? Kasi yung adult ang nakakatakot dito, mag-produce siya ng ng larva. Hindi binanggit ang filariform dito ha. Walang rhabdidi, walang filariform. Larva. Nakuha? Yan. So ano mangyayari dito? Papasok yan ngayon sa ating small intestine, then papasok yan papunta sa muscle tissue. Worst scenario, pwedeng mapunta yan sa nervous system, sa heart muscle and muscle tissue. Until such time, they will encysst themselves in the muscle. And larva matures in the muscle. Okay? Now, what's the life cycle? Halimbawa sabihin natin, nagsangyup kayo, hindi masyadong naluto yung pork kasi nagmamadali kasi excited kayo kasi punta pa kayo ng hotel. Sabi ko, okay? Then after that, kasi Valentine's, di ba? After that, ingestion of the uncooked, no? Then nandun yung encysted larva na yan. So what will happen there? Mag-e-encyst yan in the small intestine. Magiging adult, no? Actually, wala kasi nakitang adult, pero pwede siya maging adult in the small intestine. At sa small intestine, pwede siya doon dumami, mag-produce ng larva. Yung larva na yan ang pupunta sa muscle tissue natin. And after that, larva released in the small intestine. And after that, adults in the small intestine. And of course, larva deposited in the mucosa and assisted themselves majority sa mga striated muscle. Malas mo kapag pumunta yan sa heart. Remember, heart muscle is striated. Isa lang ang non-striated, your smooth muscle. That's why, pwede tating makakuha tayo ng parasite kapag suspected ang patient natin with Trichinella spiralis. Now, take note, Trichinella spiralis, life cycle, accidental ingestion of infected properly processed meat. After exposure to gastric acid and pepsin, eto na, larvae are released from the cyst and then invade your small intestine para maging adult. After 1 week, doon na sila magpaparami, they release larva, and larva migrate in different parts of the body, particularly striated muscle tissue. This is an example of HNT state of Trichinella spiralis. Ito yung ating encysted larva. Sir, question. Ano makikita natin dyan? Larva or adult? Most of the time kasi parang larva pa. Ang adult sa intestine sila. So, encysted larva is the diagnostic stage. Nakuha. And at the same time, we have also here the encysted larva that we're talking about sa muscle tissue. Yan, ang Trichinella spiralis. And how can we identify? Muscle biopsy. Meron tayo pag na Bachman intradermal test. Bachman intradermal is a sensitivity testing that will identify non-specifically if you are a carrier of that parasite. So, pag sabi mo intradermal, they will able to use intradermal suspension. Then after that, kapag may redness, that means that we have the infection. Then we have also the Beck's test and the blood test. Pero ito, wala siyang DFS. The Beck test is called SINO, diagnosis. Yung mismo, halimbawa sabihin natin na piece of tissue, ipapakain yan sa albino rats. Then, kapag si albino rats ay nakakita sila ng tissue, that means that they are actually considered to be what we call now infected with Trichinella spiralis. Sa blood test, that is presumptive but not specific determination of eosinophils. Dito, walang DFS. Why? Kasi nga, ang parasitic infection, they are identified in the muscle. Let's have the next one. So, ganyan ang muscle biopsy. Tatanggalin nila yan. Then we have filarial worms. Please memorize. The causative agent, we are already in the blood nematodes. And one of the target organ of these particular filarial worms in the body are Wuchereria bancrofti and Buldimalayan timori, lymphatic. But we can use blood as a sample. The vector is mosquito, and they are both sheeted. Microfilariae is the diagnostic stage of these two parasites in the blood. That's why we can able to perform skin. We can able to perform thick and thin smear. Periodicity. Ibig sabihin ng nocturnal, they can be identified at night time in the blood. Next, Onchocerca volvulus. Ang Onchocerca volvulus can actually subcutaneous tissue at ang specimen dito is skin snips. Ang vector is flies, wala silang sheet and non-periodic. Anytime pwede. Ang loa-loa or eyeworm, subcutaneous tissue. But we can isolate that in the blood. Flies ang vector, sheeted, and diurnal. Madalas sa umaga. Your Manzanella, perstans, and Ozardi are both body cavities. Mahirap sila sa blood kasi nga, bibihira lang din, pero sometimes we can use the tissue. Why? Because they invade the body cavities. The vector is the knot, they are both unsheeted, and they are both non-periodic. Let's start with the filial worms. We have the periodicity. Let's define first the periodicity. Pag sinabi natin periodicity, that is called the rhythmical appearance of microfilariae in the blood. So, pag periodic, nocturnal or diurnal, pwedeng umaga o gabi. Pag sabi mo sa periodic, biglang tumataas at night time. Pag sabi mo non-periodic, that means the number of parasite in day and night is constant, pareho lang. So there are some periodic na minsan mas mataas sa gabi o kaya minsan sa umaga. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng periodic na yan. Minsan they are actually, sabihin natin, no, may parasite na nocturnal at may parasite na diurnal. Pag sinabi mong nocturnal sa gabi, pag sinabi mong diurnal sa umaga. Nakuha. Okay, parang kunti pa nale-lecture ko ngayon. I finished my lecture in bacteriology a while ago. 145 slides. From 7:30 to 11:30. Tapos mag-lecture pa ako kasi kulang pa yun. Hindi na nila kaya ako. Sige, after my class na may gabi 7 p.m. online tayo. So hindi pa ako tapos sa kanila. Sa inyo, konti pa lang, may first year sabi, sir, hindi na namin kaya, sabi niya. So, ako, hindi na lang ako nagalit, pero galit na galit ako talaga. Dinigilan ko lang sarili ko because last Saturday, I'm reserving my energy for the 4th year. Pag first year kasi hindi ko na masyadong pinapansin. Pero sinabihan niya ako na hindi na namin kaya. What I tell to that student, I told him, o lalaki, that hindi pwede sa akin yan sa 3rd year niya, sabi ko. Kung hindi mo kaya, kayanin mo, kasi medtech ka. Hindi ka naman nag-enroll na kung anong subject lang. Ma'am, mag-lecture yung ibang professor nyo. Baka naman mamaya, konting lecture lang, okay na sa'yo, hindi ganun ang medtech, sabi ko sa kanya. Iba ang medtech. Kailangan attentive ka, kailangan good listener ka. Kasi ako, pag halimbawa, may namis kang isulat na word at yun ang pinaquiz ko, mamamali mo yun. Okay? So, yun ang sinabi ko sa kanya. Pero hindi ko na lang pinagalitan. Yung mga ganun kasi minuhura ko na agad. Okay? So, pasalamat siya. Maganda pa yung mood ko. Kasi I'm preparing my energy for 4th year. Kasi ang 4th year na hawak ko noon, sa isang class, 100 plus 110. Sa inyo, konti lang.